Okay, and so welcome back everyone, this is the VG Pierced, and I'll be coming at you with some cross-platform cup, and this is round 2 action where the PlayStation is taking on the Xbox crew, and we just saw Calcium Cast taking out Glasshammer's Chaos Dwarf team, the mirror matchup, but there really wasn't much of a match whatsoever where Calcium Cast was able to just maim and kill the other team off, and now we're going to see ImediaPlayer taking on Blade Undead versus Dark Elf team. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. And of course, I have not made any of these predictions whatsoever, but again, I do like a lot of the PlayStation crew. I think the only crew that I do like out of Xbox is definitely Timidius's team and quite possibly Gnome Slayer. But definitely the Xbox crew has to be behind the 8 ball at this point. But it is going to be ImediaPlayer, the Dead Can Dance, the PlayStation team versus Blade, Dark Elf team, the Devil's Children, Xbox. And now the coin flip. Of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the teams as we see who's going to win the coin toss. Looks like the Undead team will be able to take that coin flip. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the skills. If you guys have seen so far in the PC versus the Xbox crew, then you do know what this Dark Elf crew is all about. Does have the assassin right there with that multiple block on him. So as I've said before, multiple block for this assassin will mean that he's able to get not 1 but 2 stabs if he does make a block. Now it doesn't count towards a blitz, it's a block. And so the bad thing about that is the assassin will need to get base to base to actually make the best use for that multiple block, and quite honestly that is not going to happen very often as long as the other team is paying attention, to be truthful. And I believe against Jimmy's Wood Elf team, for this Dark Elf team here, he only really had 1 opportunity to use the multiple block, and that was really because Jimmy forgot to spread his guys out on the line. But the Dark Elf got the multiple block but did not produce any injuries whatsoever in the front line, and that's just the thing about stab, it's just very gimmicky. Which elves are going to be the staple for this team though? Diving tackle with that block sidestep, and then the tackle sidestep with that wrestle ability there, and then the blodge sure hands, and then the blodge guard, and then the diving tackle block here, and then the mighty blow tackle block, and then the kick for that Dark Elf. And as you can see there, nobody here on the bench for the Dark Elf team, but definitely one to be afraid of. On the Undead side, we have not seen this team yet from ImediaPlayer. He's going to have mummies, and he will have one of them with that Braid Tuckle block and the guard, and then the other mummy, yes, going to have that block with the guard for him, and then the zombies, no skills whatsoever, going to have the main ball carrier right over here to the right blodge with the sure hands, and then Raj with the tackle, and then the dodge ability on him. Actually, that is not, that's actually inherent, and then he does have the main ball hitter, does have the hammer, the mighty blow with the piling on and tackle white here, and then the other one also mighty blow piling on with the guard right there, and then guard blodge for that ghoul, and then a couple of zombies to come in for the Undead team. And so now we'll see who is going to have the better of it. Like I said before though, I do like the Undead team, and that's really simply because this assassin on the Dark Elf side, you know, it's just not going to do anything really. It's just so gimmicky. It really only works against coaches who are not so savvy against the assassin and wants to base up all your guys and get into a bash fest. But as long as the Undead team is worth his salt, he should just stay away. He should be able to at least get the hits off, if anything, against the 3 strength assassin, and at least push him away. So now we'll see. Assassin's going to hang back for the time being, and really just can be for the large part ignored. Even with the shadowing ability, he just doesn't have enough movement allowance to make the best use of it. So assassins I just don't like them. I just don't, and I am a Dark Elf coach, so I have to say, if anything, don't get the assassin, guys, if you really are trying to win any of your games there, because armor value 7, shadowing not so great for 6 lunar rounds, stab very gimmicky, and any skill you get, I mean, it's so much better on anybody else except for the assassin. I mean, heck, he could have had a runner, heck, even an extra line elf with dodge or something like that. That would be just so much better than what he has there. At least the lineman's got 8 armor value with dodge. Just so much better. I mean, the only thing you say is that he's got the stab, and that's it. But if you're not stabbing armor value 7, then it's just not a high chance of getting down anyone else. Armor value 8, a little bit less susceptible, and then armor value 9, even less so than that. We'll try to get the blitz down on the Dark Elf Blitzer, and unfortunately for the white, no big hit. Won't be able to get the mighty blow with the piling on. And try to get down some of the Dark Elves, but the zombies, he's got plenty of zombies, so might as well try to get these fouls off straight away, and he does. He does get the ball pickup, and he should be okay. Dark Elves just out of range here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's just out of range even, so even though the ball is going to be a little bit open, Dark Elves won't be able to capitalize, and so he will try to get down here, the blitz. And he will use his own mighty blow with the tackle blitzer to try to get down some of the undead team. And there you go. Again, the assassin, he's just going to be used to help out, maybe get the assist here and take away the assist actually from the zombies. So, I mean, again, like, the assassin costs so much gold, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it. You just have to think, what could have been better? And at this point, it's either a runner with a skill or a lineman with a skill at this point. And you take a runner with accurate even, and that's just tremendously better, because now he's a big, huge ball carrier. And then you give him the sure hands instead, or something like that, and he'll be for the better. I mean, there's so many things better, and you don't have this mismatching of the skills as well. Here, this guy, he ends up taking the slack of running the ball, and so he's got the dodge and the sure hands on him, and it's a bit of a waste to have the sure hands on the blitzer right there. I'm just not exactly sure what Blade was going for here. And we have seen him play against Jimmy, and heck, did give Jimmy a lot of problems with his defense, so I can't say that he's a terrible coach or anything like that, but the gimmicky play is just not going to work out. And they're going to start off strong here. Undead team will get the injury and take out a blitzer, and that's a dangerous blitzer at that. And here comes another KO there on the line, and as you can see there, Dark Elves didn't actually take an apothecary as well, so no apothecary for this crew, and that's really bad because this undead team is known to get those bashes off, does have block for his guys with those mummies, so can be quite dangerous and can take out his fair share of elves. So the Dark Elves are going to be behind now, going to beat down 2 guys to the KO, 1 to the injury in fact, and so definitely needs to get aggressive here. So the Dark Elves coach Blades, yes, he's going to get very aggressive, get in there with all of his might, but that does mean he's got to base up the entire undead team, this entire undead cage there, and that's not the best idea all the time. Ooh, he actually dodges in there, but not going to have enough here. He already used his blitz, but will touch up the ball carrier, so at least I think might be able to force the dodge away, and that's pretty good stuff. He doesn't have an extra +1 agility or anything, so could get 1 and 9 here. And actually, that's the Witch Elf with the tackle, and I think may even have the diving tackle. No, the other one's got the diving tackle, but piling on right there with the mighty blow. Yes, he's going to get yet another Dark Elf down due to the KO, and so making it extraordinarily uncomfortable. And here, this is going to be the choice. Do you take out the Dark Elf Blitzer with the diving tackle, or do you take out this girl here with the tackle? So that is very difficult to defend, and actually he's going to try to take out the Witch Elf instead, and going to sidestep away from this area. And I'm a little bit surprised at that. Probably should have sidestepped maybe over here so that he can continue to touch the ball carrier, but now he's pretty much letting him go. If you're going to dodge in there with the Witch Elf, why not just sidestep right here? Sure, you might get hit again, but I mean, that was the whole point, right? Oh no. Well, that goes that, and actually going to be able to clear the ball. I'm extremely surprised because that's the whole point of putting a sidestep Witch Elf in there. And she's got jump up even, so even if she would have sidestepped here and fell down on the ground, it's okay because she got jump up and might be able to get a block off. Does have that mummy with the guard, but hit him down or something like that, and might actually been able to get a one-die block here, and it would have just been a normal block. So I think a little bit of a small miss right there, but it is going to be risky nonetheless. But I still would have liked to seen something a little bit more out of there. But he will do the blitz instead, and will get the two-die block, and he will get the wrestle, and there you go. The blitz is good, and he will be able to get the ball out. The Dark Elves might try to get through, but won't be able to. But the re-roll, yes, will be able to move on out of there. Gonna get the Witch down the field, but did use the re-roll. So we'll see if he's gonna be able to get this on the 4+ pickup. Will he be able to get the 4+ pickup? I don't think he's doing it. Yes, he is. He is going to get the 4+ pickup. He's going to get the 2+ dodge. And will he try for the crazy throw here? No, he is not going to get it. Oh, boy. The interception rolled to the 5, but it was a 5+ pass. So because of the interception try, oh, boy, will not be able to get the 5 on his roll. And that's just too bad right there. Oh no, almost got away with it though, almost. And with the Dark Elves here playing so aggressive, all of the Undead are going to be bashing down this Dark Elf team and should be able to get to the ball now after a nice little hit here. And actually the ball is still going to scatter in a good spot for the Dark Elf team, so it's going to force a 4+ pickup. It will be a sure hands pickup, but nonetheless, it's going to be a little bit difficult, and he's going to have to maybe dodge away. I think so, actually. And here is this ghoul just in range, too. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just in range. And so, how is he going to play this one out? Will he pick up the ball with the 4+ and then try the 3+ dodge away? That's the question. Or will he just continue to mark it up? Nope, he's just going to go for it there. Yes, he will pick it up. He's going to keep him here. No need for the GFI. No need for the dodge away. And here comes the foul. Just going to try to get down those Witch Elves. Does have those armor value 7. And going to go out for his troubles. But plenty of zombies to come in to replace that one that just did the foul. But Witch Elf will get stunned. And now the blitz here. Coming out for the Dark Elf team, trying to get him down, but not going to be able to get him down. But the Witch Elf in range here, so it should be a surf out, but Skull's there, so gonna have to re-roll that. But there's the push that all she needs, and at least another push, and there we go. And we'll be able to produce a nice little KO even. That's beautiful right there. Beautiful. Dark Elves not missing a beat, and honestly I feel like the Dark Elf coach is actually a pretty good coach, but he's just going just too flat out from the onset of the game. It's like he's not necessarily taking it extremely seriously here. Sure, this is exhibition matches, but at the same time you really want to try your best and try to make this definitely more of a game than it is at this moment. Right now, it just seems like the Dark Elves are just gonna just straight out lose it now and have no chance here by the end of it. But luckily, though, loads of KOs and not a lot of injuries at this point, so not a big deal. But still, I would have liked to seen a little bit more of a closer match and not so much of a gimmicky team and just so much aggression there at the front part of this game. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of veteran coaches, when you start off on the game, the first 5 turns are pretty much shadow boxing, just kind of getting a feel for the game and each other at this point, and just trying to see the strategy of each other. But the Dark Elves just immediately just tries to go for the ball. Sure, he had a moment in time to try to get that ball, but I just feel like trying a bit too hard right there to try to make something happen, and now he's gonna pay for it. Dark Elves, when you do play aggressives with your Dark Elf team, this is just gonna happen right there, and you're gonna see this more often than not if you're gonna try to get too aggressive. And now with turn 6, the Dark Elves can do nothing but just try to keep his guys away from the front line and just stay away from any trouble. But with these turns winding down, the Undead team is going to move up and continue to try to get these fouls off on the Witch Elf. Should get a couple of more assists here. And Zombie, plenty of zombies to come in. And 2 of them's already gotten fouled out there. So I do believe if he gets another foul out, then might not actually have enough numbers to cover unless he gets a death injury. Oh, wow, look at that. Just going to be a stun. And that's it. Turn 8 coming up, and I do believe the Dark Elves are going to just hang out in the backfield. I don't know what he's moving around for, but nonetheless, we'll move around. And Undead team's not going to play around. No fouls here, and we'll go into the 8th round at the end. ImediaPlayer will go up 1-0 for the PlayStation crew. Definitely going to be an uphill battle now for the Dark Elves, especially if none of his guys come back. But thankfully 2 of them comes back, and going to have another shot of it by the end of the 8th period. Let's go ahead and quickly go about the kickoff, as we are going to switch sides real quick to the Dark Elf side. And there we go. We'll be able to use his multiple block Dark Elf Assassin there on the front line, unless there's a perfect defense. And there, ImediaPlayer is actually not spreading out his players, and that's a bit unfortunate. So 2 guys are going to get stabbed there, and that is going to be the first mistake that we've seen here coming out. And there, big injuries are going to come out, or a big arm value break, and just going to be a stun. And there is another stun. So this time, both of the stabs actually comes through, but it's going to just be a stun. And that's multiple block for you, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't guarantee anything. Oh gosh, it's just, what's the point? What is the point? And here you go. He's gonna get the foul off, and I'm not extremely sure why at this point. Needs to have every Dark Elf on the pitch, and gonna foul that guy there and risk it. And luckily nothing happens for the Dark Elf team, but I guess again, with no more bench to come in for the Undead team, why not? Because that would mean that he's down 1 extra player, but still, it was a level 1 zombie with nothing, and the Dark Elves are going to be down a couple of guys here, looks like. Yes, 2 extra KOs comes back, but 2 KOs does not. And so the Dark Elves are going to start this half down 3, whereas the Undead are still going to continue to have their full complement on the pinch. But it is the Dark Elves team possession half, so we'll see how they're going to make out. If they're able to score it, and that will be pretty nice. But Undead team showing like they are in control, and it's not going to be an easy battle here. But the Dark Elves, if he does get his final KO guys back and he doesn't suffer any injuries during this touchdown try, then at least he might be able to have some sort of chance here. And again, the yellow players here, the Undead team, is going to continue to stay in range of the multiple block stab, and that's a huge mistake right there. Huge. should at least spread out his line so that that doesn't happen. But unfortunately, yeah, it's actually, I think the assassin was lined up in the center maybe, and then he thought, oh, okay, I'll just put my guys here. But no, he just moved the assassin because. But yeah, well, there you go. Assassin will have his time to shine, but this is the problem with getting multiple block. He needs to base up the other side, and with armor value 7, well, he's susceptible to getting injured, and there you go. There goes the gimmick, and there goes the armor value 7 assassin. I mean, I have to just throw my hands up in the air and just be like, just, why? You know, just not so great. Dark Elves. If you guys are out there and you guys are wondering why I'm hating on this assassin so much, there you go. Right there. Even with multiple block. Just garbage. And I do believe during the preliminary matchups, not in this one here, but quite a good bit ago, we were talking about it, and Bernie had asked me, hey, well, you know, I've gotten a leap assassin, and I have had a leap assassin, and guess how well that worked out? Not very. Not very good at all. So the Dark Elves are just going to hang back, play a little bit of elf ball, and actually going to move all of his guys to the backfield. I haven't really seen this play so much with Dark Elves. I've seen this with Wood Elves, and the reason why it works out better for Wood Elves is because they're huger movement allowance. Because they have catchers with 8 movement allowance, and then war dancers with 7 movement allowance, line elves with 7. So I mean, their guys can move pretty quickly up the pitch. But here with these linemen with 6 movement allowance, and also the blitzers with just the was it the 7? I think. Yes, the 7. They aren't the quickest thing on the pitch, and they could get tripped up here. So Undead team is just going to follow suit. Going to continue to put his huge net up on the pitch. Don't want to overstretch himself, but at this point, Undead team is going to be the one up 1-0. So does not need to play extremely aggressive whatsoever. And look at this, Undead team. Boy, he's seen this before. And so he's just going to actually put his guys in such a way that, okay, if you're going to hang back like that, then I'll just put my guys in a 2x2x2 formation, have one guy in a center, and the moment you come close, I'm gonna pounce on you. Dark Elves are hanging back, and I do believe Undead team is probably just gonna sit back and say, okay, end turn. I don't need to do anything. He may just think about advancing, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if it was the Wood Elf team, he'd be a little bit more scared to advance. But this is just the Dark Elf team, so he just needs to make sure that he's in maximum range of how the Dark Elves are going to move. And so this strategy is definitely not going to work out. So again, I just feel like, yeah, there we go. He's just going to end the turn right there. I mean, why do anything? And right there, it's just like, okay, Dark Elves are like, okay, you've played into, you know, I couldn't play you into my ruse here. And so, all right, I'm going to go ahead and move. But now he's ceded so much territory that the midfield is, in a sense, right there in Dark Elf territory, and that is tremendously bad positioning for the Dark Elf team. So again, I mean, I feel like Blade's a good player. Okay, I can see that, because again, he did put Jimmy in a bit of a spot there in his last game that he played, that he did play in. But I mean, I have to say, these are just all very playful decisions there, and not necessarily great decisions. And you know, I think this is why I like covering the cross-platform cup, because normally when I'm covering the Champions Cup, both players pretty strong and there's really nothing much to talk about. But here, lots of errors are being made here, and I'm actually able to just kind of cover it and talk about it here, because lots of times you just don't get to see this at the higher level play, and unfortunately I don't get to kind of talk about these types of mistakes, but here I do. I mean, this is just a huge mistake for the Dark Elf team. It's just, you're ceding way too much space. The midfield now is essentially right here, and the Dark Elves, they're not that fast, and so sure, they might be able to turn the corner, but they're not able to get too far away. And I think in the end, a side cage is going to have to be formed here to try to get away from the aggression of the Undead team. But You guys know how much I hate the side cages. And there's just going to be a push. And we'll frenzy into a 1-die block, but it's going to work out. Defender down die anyways. And should dodge away, and I might be able to put up something here on the left side. We'll see there. Yeah, he's going to try to open up the side here on the left. But again, this really works out better for Wood Elf team and not necessarily for a Dark Elf team. Here, the blitz. You blitz down this Witch Elf right there. Get a couple of guys in front of this mess and make sure that you cover the Witch Elf over here. And what do you have? Not much whatsoever. So their ImediaPlayer is just gonna, yep, just, I mean, it's as if she's the receiver. So put 2 guys on her, get the blitz off on the Witch Elf right over there. Continue to just mark up these Dark Elves, force the dodge away, and force them to do the 2+ dodges. And there you go, actually gonna cover the guy in the intermediary and not gonna be the one on the far right there. So we'll get the block off and should get the blitz here with the tackle. Mighty blow white. Stick the mummy right in the face of the ball carrier. What are you going to do, right? 5 strength. And actually no blitz is going to come out right there, but it looks like it's going to come from the ghoul instead. And, oh yeah, actually it's going to get the guard. Yep, so this is actually a 2-die block on the ball carrier and does have that wrestle. That is the ball hawk. So the tackle and the wrestle is actually going to get that ball out, and with the final white, and the ball is going to scatter in a great spot here. And so we'll try the ball pickup. Why not? The white is going to pick that ball up, and the Dark Elves left themselves just a little bit too open. The blitz comes out, and we'll be able to get the ball out there. Witch Elf going to do the 4+ dodges away from tackle even. Going to get all of those dice rolls. Both down die, and the wrestle will be able to get the ball out themselves, but ball is going to fall out here, and unfortunately this Dark Elf has already moved. Witch Elf's going to go out for the fly, but this lineman did move out already, and that is going to be too bad here. And so Undead team will be able to get yet another chance here at the ball, and actually is going to have a couple of blocks even. Should be able to get this zombie over right here, and if anything get a push combination, but nope, not going to do any of that stuff. Just go ahead and get the 2-die block straight away. I guess no skills whatsoever, so gonna feel good about that 2-die block, and we'll get the defender stumbles. We'll be able to get that ball out, and now should be able to get picked up by a number of players here. And Undead team, as long as he's gonna get that ball pickup, the Dark Elves might as well count themselves out. But they do have a glimmer of hope. This Witch Elf is out for the fly here and does have a opportunity to maybe turn this one around. So Dark Elves are not out of it. Again, Dark Elves are just playing so gimmicky and it's just so, I mean, again, I can tell this coach is a good player, but I think the way that he's playing is just, I think he needs to play a bit more here and maybe some better players here, because he's just playing like maybe he's had about 50 or so games underneath his belt, and that's about it. Plays well enough to beat the bad players, but doesn't play well enough to beat the good players. And there we go, the cage dive in there, and won't be able to get in here and try to get that ball out. And now with this ball in the hands of the ghoul, should see a nice little hit there, and if possible should just score it straight away. Dark Elves won't really have a chance to come back here if the Undead team does score it right here, right now. So we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With the GFI, will the Undead team do it? Probably not if he's able to get down all these Dark Elves, and so far so good. Defender down died, defender stumbles. Get another one down. That one's stunned even, so there we go. And there's another both down die right here. And will we see the piling on? Yes, we will. This is why we get it. And we'll get another stun here. We should see another blitz here. And if the blitz is going to come true, we should see the ball hold one more time. And he does have tackle to negate that dodge. Both down die. Oh, that's not good enough right there. And so we... No, you know what? Gonna just cage it up, I think. Yeah, there we go. And the Dark Elves will be able to have a... Nope, maybe not. We'll be getting the foul off and get the armor value break, and the injury is going to come out even. Will get himself ejected, but not a big deal there. Going to go out a hero to the Undead team, and oh boy, what a game we have here, ladies and gentlemen. What a game indeed. 2-dive uphill, and with the reroll, won't be able to get away from the pushes or anything like that. Trying to get at least a both down die or something like that. Both down die with the defender stumbles, something like that, but it's not going to happen. And with that, Undead team going to get the piling on with the mighty blow. And this is GG, my friends. Another PS4 victory in the can. Circle77 is going to get the score for ImediaPlayer's Undead team and the PS4 crew. But again, for the final wrap up there, Dark Elves just playing too gimmicky. Assassin with multiple block is not the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Too much aggression in the first half. And then after that second half, trying to drop back all the Dark Elves. It just doesn't really work out with the slower movement allowance of the Dark Elves. It kind of works out a little bit better if you're playing Wood Elves, but not necessarily for the Dark Elf team. And that, my friends, is that. Just bad strategy, bad play against higher tiered opponents. That stuff does not work whatsoever. And like I said before, I really feel like Blade is a good player, but he can beat the bad player, but he can't beat these good players. And that's my assessment of the skill there. And so with that, PlayStation's gonna go up 2-0, and with one more victory we'll win the series. But again, with the tiebreaker being that it is going to be your overall win percentage, or not win percentage, but your overall wins. That is the difference here. So don't worry about the point differential, just worry about the points. So PlayStation to have a real good shot at pushing maybe into overtime, or not overtime, but pushing into an extra game to be played if they are able to somehow, some way sweep the Xbox, and then after that beat the PC out, then might be able to pull something out here. But don't you guys go away. We still have one more game to cover. Girdley gonna be the Skaven team taking on Gnome Slayer's Bretonian team. If you guys like what you see here, please hit that follow button and hit that subscribe button if you are watching after the fact on YouTube. But otherwise, stick around for just a moment as we are gonna get into the third game of the cross-platform cup.